You know, I've been harassed in every country I've lived in. It's happened to me less here. There's probably various reasons for that. But I want to talk about violence, specifically domestic violence, which covers economic violence, sexual violence, emotional violence, psychological violence, financial violence. Yes. Psychological violence, for me, I think can be more dangerous than physical violence. You know, you can heal from a scar or a bruise, but the psychological violence doesn't go away. But what I wanted to ask was the statistics on domestic violence. It's difficult to know exactly what they are, but very reputable sources have said that at least half of Albanian women will experience at least one form of violence at least once.
Out of 3 women.
Yeah. Yes. So, the
one out of 3 has been a victim of violence, and 1 out of 2 will experience violence at some point in her life.
But these statistics are higher than most countries in the region and Europe as well. It puts Albania at the highest, among the highest risk in Europe. And I want to ask, why is that? Like, why are these statistics so high compared to other countries? Like, what makes the society more dangerous for women here?
Well, I would say that, unfortunately, these statistics are similar to many other countries in the world. And it is based on the social norms we've been mentioning so far. The institutions are still weak. They are not capable enough to provide the protection that the survivors need. And if you don't have the trust in the institutions, then you have less people asking for the protection they need. And that would also help for the abusers to stop abusing. So there is this whole a hiding behind the word abuser. Like, you have now the words like toxic, like inappropriate behavior, all that. But at the end of the day, the root of all these behaviors is being abusive.
Yes.
And then you ask, who is the abuser? And then how do you process it? In your family, in your circle of friends, or when you need to go to some institution and address that issue as it's required by law. And so the more active we are to not tolerate these kind of behaviors and take proper action, that will help to change this culture or to change these norms or these patterns, you know.
But also for women to know what abuse is. Right. You know, to know that if you say no to your husband when he wants to have sex with you and he makes you have sex, that's rape. To know that withholding money from you is financial violence. Yeah. To know that checking your phone and harassing you about where you're going, or when you leave the house, keep your eyes down, who are you talking to? That is also emotional violence. Yes, knowing that these are forms of abuse will empower women to be able to maybe report it.
But some years ago, violence was not considered a problem at all. And starting from that point, now, we are, let's say, I cannot say the word happy, but we are optimistic that the number of reporting cases is increased, because this is out of, let's say, efforts that are put from the government structures, but also from activists and civil society actors. But in the other hand, as it was mentioned, some of those women that are victims of all kinds of violence do not really believe in the structures. No. They can have access on justice, but still they lack this kind of
trust
too. And this is a big challenge that all the structures need to be addressed so far. I have heard that the motto of this year is access to justice when it comes to violence against women and girls. But, you know, it is a very, let's say, tricky aspect when it comes to talking and addressing violence, because we need to have very well informed and organized structures. For example, I know that in some places shelters used to be and now are not, let's say, anymore due to lack of financial sources. This is a backsliding when it comes to this kind of issues. If we want the number of cases reported to be higher, and in the sense that they
People
talk
are
about
reporting.
it, they are reporting, not because sometimes it can create misunderstanding. We need to offer them at least a 72-hour shelter, at least. Or, for example, if we consider the fact that the police station should be really careful on in the first moment, trying, to
having a woman officer, for example.
Having a woman officer, but it's still a lot to be done in that perspective. And I would like here to speak loudly when it comes to providing financial sources to those kind of structures.